What are the economic growth prospects for Russia?
We currently project growth at about 4% on the account of still good oil prices, high oil prices. However, this is a slight slowdown with respect to last year, and inflation will be about 6.5% because growth is growing a little bit above potential.
What
are the prospects for the long-term global economic outlook, and what actions are most appropriate for Russia given this context?
Global economic outlook is indeed quite volatile, and so it's a legitimate question to ask what the Russian authorities should do to react to this. Our recommendation during the last consultation was to focus on the right policy. For the central bank, means anchor inflation expectation. For the exchange rate policy, means that the exchange rate should be allowed to absorb external shock, as had been in the last few months. And for fiscal policy, means to focus on having a long-term sustainable fiscal policy.
Please tell me the answer to this question. When will Russia's economy be independent of oil prices?
Oil in itself is a blessing. So we have to ask how Russia will be able to avoid the boom and bust cycles of the oil, as the question was. The important thing is to diversify the economy in the non-oil sector, to use whatever all the fiscal and the other receipts from the oil sector to the other sector of the economy, so the economy gradually grows out of oil.
What are some alternatives to raising revenues for the pension fund without raising the retirement age?
Well, a natural way of doing this would be to increase the payroll taxes, that nowadays are about 22% of wages, which is already quite a high level for Russia. If we had to keep the pension at the level in which they are nowadays, we would have to increase the payroll taxes to 30% by 2030 and to 40% by 2050, which is a very, very high level, which would be very detrimental for labor and for diversifying the economy. This is the reason why we do not recommend an increase in payroll taxes. Rather, we would prefer to increase the retirement age, which would have also the good effect of increasing labor supply.
Do you believe the Russian economy today is truly open and transparent? And is the economy up to international standards for investment?
Transparency and fight against corruption are a key issue in Russia. If Russia had to grow out of being an oil economy, it has to diversify in other sectors. In order to diversify in other sectors, Russia has to attract investment, both domestic and international investment. But this cannot happen if there is a problem with corruption and transparency. These issues are quite clear, and President Putin himself, on his very first day in office, issued a decree outlining a plan to fight corruption and to increase transparency.